Hey bros, let me tell you something about how stupid this equality BS really is in our country. I was just reading an article that was talking about millennials and how they were promoting gender equality and blase, but that they're falling back into the traditional household where a man provides and a woman takes care of her house. A woman takes care of her children in the house while a man brings home the bacon, so to speak. And I just want to say how stupid this whole thing is, because the way that they're trying to propagate this information to people is that there should be equality in the workplace and all this different type of stuff, which we all know that equality should be a thing. Equality should be basic. I mean, that's Christian at its core. That's basic. Everybody should be equal, but there's a system, there's an organization, there is a way that works, and there's a way that's screwed up that doesn't work. And when you got two people in your household, what makes more sense? Having specialized workers that do a specific job and function very well? Or is it better to have individuals that are trying to do multiple things at a time and failing to achieve all the stuff that they're doing because they're spread too thin? See, in any type of situation, in the army, in the military, and big corporations, and your offices, and all these different type of stuff, they have people who do specialty roles and they focus on specialty things. And that's why in a household, if you have two parents trying to both have two different jobs, and both share the responsibility of taking care of the children, taking care of the house, and working, basically what you create is a household of disruption, a household of chaos, a household that lacks focus, a household that lacks organization, and no army and no company is going to thrive that way, and no household is going to thrive that way. You see, the way that God has it, and the way that God has always had, and the way that even in nature is done, is that the man has a specific job and a specific function. That doesn't mean that he's better than the female. It means that he has a job that he's specifically engineered and designed to do, and he does it well. And that is to go out to handle the burden and the stress of the outside world. He is bigger. He is stronger. He can protect himself if someone tries to jump him. People are less likely to attack a male because we are men, and that's our job. So we go out, we do the hunting, we go out, we get the jobs, we go out and we provide for our family. A good man will do a good job and take care of his household the way that he should. Now, there are pigs out there in men as there are with women. There are adulterous men as there are adulterous women. Okay. But I'm talking about the hierarchy of God and the way that the system should be organized. And when a man does his role and does his job and goes out there and gets a job and gets a well-paying job and works his ass off for his family and comes home and takes care of his family, that's his specific job and his specific function, and he's taking care of the finances, so he knows what's going on. That's his specialty. He is now a specialist in that field. He has nothing else to think about but that, and that makes him good at what he's doing. That makes him focused. That makes him attentive. That makes him the best at his game and makes him be able to bring his A game because he's not all over the place. Likewise with a female, when she's at home, as these millennials have found out, even though they want to propose all these different things and be these proponents of, equal this and equal that. Equality doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has to do the same exact thing. That's stupid. And they're starting to realize this because they're falling back into traditional homes because it makes more sense, period. Okay? Like a woman being at home taking care of her kids. She is the mother. She has a motherly instinct that God gave her. She is usually the more gentle one. Okay? And she can take care of her household. When she's at home, she can fully focus on the well-being of the child, which is the most important thing, by the way, because it is stupid to try to live for yourself in this day and age, because you're going to die one day and it's going to amount to nothing. What we are supposed to do as a human race, you want to talk about evolution, you want to talk about growing, you want to talk about being progressive, the things that we're supposed to do as human beings is we are supposed to teach our children and raise them up and give them the best opportunity to do well and to be great and to have greatness and achieve greatness in their lives. When we have children, they are the most important thing. It's not you. It's not the man. It's not the woman. They are not the most important. That child is the most important thing because that child is the future. That child is the existence of humanity. It is, pushing humanity forward. And that is the real evolution that God really has, is investing in your children. And when you have a mother who is at home, who is solely dedicated to taking care of her child and making sure that her child is in school, attentive at school, bringing home straight A's, honor roll, perfect attendance, when she is feeding the children great food, because by the way, guys, we have to live. We have to eat to live. And what we put into our bodies is what's going to affect our mental state, is what's going to affect our health, is what's going to affect our longevity and our life. Talk about evolution. Talk about doing right. It starts in the kitchen, right? It starts with the food that you consume. And you got a woman in the house who's carefully and meticulously choosing what she's going to feed her family, making sure that her family's getting the best quality food and cooked in the best fashion and a variety of foods that they can have so that they can grow. And this is not only helping her. It's helping her husband. It's helping her children. You know, you guys try to act like, you know, the world tries to act like, oh, going out into the world and making money is the most adventurous and most glorious thing that you can do, when you at the same time you downplay the power of being a mother, the power of being a homemaker, the power of being a woman of God, the power of raising your children. And you try to say, well, a woman who's out there riding around and getting it and making all these moves, wearing fancy clothes. Yeah, it might be more glorious to that individual to go out there and do that, to get all the attention of other men and to get attention from other people and X, Y, and Z. But the real heroic, real brave, real courageous, real amazing, selfless thing for a woman to do is to stay at home and to raise her children and to cook and to clean and to be there supporting her husband as he goes out and does what he's specifically designed to do, to make sure that he's the selfless person that can go out there and brave this dog eat dog world when it's full of freaking, you know, insidious, evil, backstabbing corrupt politicians, corrupt people in the workplace, to protect his family and bring home the financial things that they need. That's the system that it's always been, and that's why it works, because you got the father doing what he is specially created to do and engineered. And by the way, if you want to count the past of how the men have always been the hunters, we were bred for this. We were born for this. This is our job and that's our function. It's in our DNA. And likewise, when we do what we are bred to do, we work great. We do great. And women likewise, they are the ones who carry the child. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. You can't dispute that. The women in humanity carry the children. They are the mothers. They are the ones with the uterus. They are the ones with the womb. They are the ones who breastfeed. That is, what does that tell you? From years and years and years of evolution and years and years and years of growth, it tells you that the woman is supposed to be the one to take care of the children in that way. It's just the way we're created. And we're only going to work when we're doing what we're created to do. And so you get this new progressive idea that men and women should have equality, quote unquote equality. Again, equality doesn't translate to equality. We all know from Christ that people are all equal. Jesus taught us that everyone is equal. There is no social class that is above or below. It doesn't matter how many riches you have. It doesn't matter how good health you are in. It doesn't matter how many children you have. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, black, white, Asian, whatever. Nobody is better than anybody in the form of Christ, which he taught so many years ago, that people are people and they're equal, period. That's basic. That's basic. But you try to say, well, a man and a woman should both be, a man should be able to be a woman and a woman should be able to be a man. And you know what? Even if they want to act like children, they should be allowed to do that. It's like, we should be allowed to do whatever we want. If I believe that I'm a cat, I should go meow. I believe that I'm a cow, I should go moo. And it's like, are you freaking crazy? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And all of these millennials that try to go out here and try to make that happen, they start falling back into traditional homes because that's the situation that makes sense. Both parties splitting up their time to go do their career and their career at the same time, juggling, taking care of the kid together, juggling the house responsibilities together. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. Not unless you have bukus and bukus of money where you can afford to put your kid into a daycare so that the system raises your child and not you. That's the only way it's going to work. I'm telling you right now, people, that you need to wake up. You need to wake up and you need to realize that this world is corrupt. The progressive, woke, politically correct way of thinking has so many faults and so many flaws. It's causing insane amounts of suicide, depression, anxiety, laziness. No one these days has a work ethic because everybody's entitled. And, you know, the world wants you to be that way. The world wants you to be stupid. The world, the ruler, the devil wants you to be stupid. He wants you to be mindless. He wants you to be drunk on the Kool-Aid of the world. He wants you to be drunk on the ideologies. He wants you to be weak. You know, and that's what all you guys are, is you're weak because you just let your desires rule you. You let your desires control you. You let your desires, mold your day. You're weak. You don't have a backbone. You're spineless. You're puppets on a string. You know, when a man does his role and when a woman does her role, it works. God's ways have always been time proven to be true and to be right and to be just and to be fair for all people. And listen, there is no shame in being a stay-at-home mom. For you women out there, there is nothing more courageous. There is nothing more self-sacrificing. There is no better thing that you can do than to stay at home and raise your children, because those babies, your babies, are humanity's future. Those babies are what's going to be there and be raised up. There's nothing that you can go buy, nothing that you can go get, nothing that will equal a baby and equal caring for a baby and raising up your child. Don't ever let any other person try to say, well, you don't get to dress up in fancy clothes and go to the workplace and act like a boss while you're neglecting your kids. You know, that's selfish. It's selfish and stupid. If you want to live that lifestyle, then don't have children, point blank, period. Don't even have kids. If you want to be selfish, and you want to live for you, don't have kids, because when your kids come here, it's not about you anymore. It's about them. And if you don't understand that, you don't deserve the title of father. You don't deserve the title of mother. So don't even get pregnant. Get on some birth control. Practice abstinence. Okay? Because when you decide to have children, you realize that your life is basically over, and it's time to raise those children and put everything you got into raising them so that they can be successful. And you're not going to raise them successfully when both of you are out there trying to do 2 different jobs, trying to do 3 different things, 4 or 5 different things, and nobody has any specialty abilities, and you're both going to be more stressed out. You're both going to be more disorganized. You're both going to have more chaos in your house, and your children are going to be the ones that suffer. Your marriage is going to suffer. And that's exactly what the devil wants, is a broken home and a broken family, because guess what? The devil knows that your children are the most important thing in your household. The devil knows that your children are the most important thing in your household, and he knows that when he gets y'all divided like that, he gets your children. All day, every day. Don't be stupid. Don't fall to it. God bless. Peace be with you.